Hello, everybody. We're playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG that rewards immersive roleplay, and tonight we're playing Into Space. So good. And
Into space.
ooh, that's fancy. In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If their task is opposed or particularly difficult, they might have to throw down dice. Okay, and tonight, we have a full house list of our usual suspects. We have me, Andrea Elliott-Johnson. We have Ken Howl. We have Daniel Holker. We have Bill Bunkum, and we have Drizzle. What? Oh my gosh, I have sound. Okay, I'm gonna fix it. Thanks for the music to all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. And then we also have our lovely Patreon members, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and our very own Daniel Holker. We also have Couchfire Media to thank for media production, and Terry Blade Productions for, whatever it is that they do sometimes. Turn off my mute. Okay, and we also, Holker, who we got for a sponsor tonight?
Thank you, Andrea. Tonight's sponsor is Pine Cones. Pine Cones. They're on evergreens until they fall off. They aggravate your pollen allergies.
Not to be used as a
depository. And that's it.
You can burn them.
Pine cones. Yeah, you can.
Pine cones. You can pick them up.
You can pick them up. Brought to you by Holker. Holker, what's the best thing about pine cones?
The best thing about pine cones is that they help evergreens to make baby evergreens.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing.
And you can then burn them.
Great fire starters.
All right, so last we left our group of a space marine fascists. I mean, devout of the SSA? I don't want to see patriotic. I guess patriotic is the right word. I don't know what to say. We should introduce ourselves. How about that? Hey, Ken, introduce yourself and who's your character? Give a little backstory about him.
Ken Howl, and I play a character who is First Lieutenant, or Second Lieutenant, Philby Newman.
First Lieutenant.
First Lieutenant. He is an alcoholic. He might be a villain.
Maybe.
But certainly if you're the SSA, you put him on missions to get shit done. And that's what he does. Sober or not.
What about you, Drizzle?
I'm Drizzle. I play Skip Trace. He is a grunt who has learned not to buck the system too much, but will when he needs to.
Holker?
I play Private Burgess. Might be a first name, might be a last name, might be a nickname. But after going half nuts due to decades of cryo sleep, it doesn't really matter anymore. Private Burgess, he's got some medical training. He's also got a set clearance that is higher than most people realize. And it's really hard to put him in a box.
One might say impossible. Why is that?
Because he's the one that puts people in boxes.
Ooh.
Or opens them up.
That's pretty good. Andrea, is that a
Hi, I'm
Mandalorian
Andrea.
behind you?
Yeah, it is. My armor.
Continue.
um, yeah, I'm Andrea. I play Katrina Telmus, who is a what do you call her? A Martian princess turned bounty hunter, basically. Kind of. I feel like that'd be a fair description of her. She was born into affluence and pedigree on Mars, but decided that that lifestyle wasn't what she really wanted, so she decided to strike it out in the wide verse as a mercenary for hire. And and now she's kind of getting back to her roots of being, a heiress to a very proud family business in order to help move this mission along.
You also have some NPCs with you. For the people that don't know what that is, whoo-wee, non-player characters. Who are our NPCs? I'm gonna ask Drizzle to name a few.
Okay. Right now, currently with us inside the city, we have Cherokee Sue and we have Silas. They are player characters who are not here tonight, and so then they are NPCs for this game. They are both PMC people who have been on prior missions with us before.
And Cherokee is a private and who was formerly a sergeant, and Silas is a corporal.
We also have Alice Brick, who was also, she's also a PMC person who was a turncoat for a bit, but then has been re-educated. We have, is it Wilhelm Vesper?
Yep.
Wilhelm Vesper. He is a medic who we helped, and so we took him with us. And we have our pilot named Josh Durgan and an engineer called Dole Engineering.
Why is he called that?
Because that's his name.
We also have Josh Dirgen, yeah?
Yeah, I said him, the
You said
pilot.
Josh Dirgen?
Yep.
And you have Alfred?
Well,
kind of.
yes. And we also have Archangel, who's another player character who is an NPC. They're all back on the ship, though.
Basically, you got 4 player characters right now, and way more NPCs, as is typical to any of my campaigns. Dear God. Hopefully next week we'll have Cherokee Sue and Silas back with us to balance out the PC NPC imbalance. A whole lot happened last game. It was kind of a blur. You guys were moving. You got into your buggy, which is a tank. It's a tank transformer that we call Johnny 25 because it can transform into a robot with tank tread for legs. And if you've seen Short Circuit, then you get the idea. But it was the tank. You guys roll rather stealthily through the southern mountain range, leaving these rebel fighters called La Résistance. They are headed by, anybody remember the name?
Gostrom.
Gostrom, whose right-hand person is Aladdin. They are desert dwellers. Gostrom, you found out, at least claims to be a true AI that's been downloaded into a robot body. However, there's a good chance that this person is not an actual true AI. Language has been a problem between you and the people of Novus Terra, this colony. Words don't quite mean the same thing, and you all got the sense that perhaps Gostrom was saying that she is a cyborg, meaning that she at one time was human. But that's not what she said. That said, instead of murder death killing her, as the good prime Marine Corps Marines you would be, Dolby had some wisdom. Dolby said, you know what? I don't think Gostrom knows exactly what she's saying. And because true AI don't exist, clearly this is lost in translation. So you make a bit of an accord with Gostrom. You head through the southern mountains, stealthily, using calculations given to you remotely by Wilhelm Vesper, his consciousness is somehow connected to both your ship as well as Johnny 25. You descend the mountains, you find a train. We're not really sure what happened, but it happened really quick and fluid. You guys jumped that train. Turns out the cameras and the guns that were aboard this food train were there for show. It's like going to a Walmart. And turns out no one's watching the cameras. Although I do think that the Walmart people are probably watching the cameras. You also realized that it means that the food on this arid desert planet, where the water apparently electrifies you, and the oxygen, the heavily oxygenated atmosphere, actually becomes toxic. The food comes from the southern branch of the colony. So there's multiple, we'll call them townships or settlements. You ride the train into the main settlement of Novus Terra. There's 2 train tracks that run into it. Novus Terra is in a valley. There's the northern mountain and the southern mountain. On your way in, you realize that where do they get their water? Well, there's a big fuck all well in the mountains, and it turns out there's aqueducts that feed the main colony. Likely there is another aqueduct in the northern mountains, but this southern one, you had a little surprise for it. As Dolby orders Skip Trace to lay detonators and explosives on the aqueduct. You have 2 settings, hopefully. One is to damage the aqueduct as a warning. The other one is to destroy it. You get in the town. It's a bit of a blur, but without incident, you make it in. Dolby had told you guys to take off all of your insignia, anything that made you look like Prime Marine Corps Marines, PMC, Prime Marine Corps Marines. Instead, you look like mercs. And that fits because now that you're on Novus Terra and you have wondered what happened to the other PMC, the PMC and the PNB, Prime Navy Brigade, what happened to them? Well, it turns out 5 years ago they arrived. Some sort of mutiny happened. Their captain chucked a nuke at the 3rd settlement, which blew it up. A mutiny happened. He was overthrown, thrown in the jail, and an accord was made with them and the leader of Novus Terra, a guy named Confucius. Well, it was a bloody thing. It was a civil war of sorts. You guys, when you came into the Novus Prime system, saw some of this. All is not well necessarily in this colony. What could be happening? You don't know. So you find yourself at a bar. I forgot what we named it. Anybody? Maybe it was bar. No?
I don't remember because I think it was Silas who came up with it.
Do we have a better name for it now? I mean, this is not the one that really matters that much. So yeah, we'll call it Bar 1. Since it's at, the gate of the city. You're in the old part of the colony. The architecture and stuff looks like it was made out of cargo containers. This is how the old colonies set up shop. They would land, create a core settlement, basically cannibalize their ships, and that would be the settlement until they could build on top of it. This is the main strip, the old colony, but you see the colony has grown quite a bit. You had thought maybe there'd be, by this point, 15,000, maybe 20,000 people total. Looks like there's far more than that, and there were 3 colonies, or 3 settlements. Obviously, this place has been given help. On your way in, you saw, in fact, some of that help. A ship.
The bar was called the Greasy Axle.
The Greasy Axle. You get a narrative point. Greasy Axle bar. Well done. You saw a clad ship. The Clad. Who are the Clad? Who wants to tell me who the Clad are? I feel like I'm teaching school. Okay, class. Raise your hands. Who the fuck are the Clad? Not everybody all at once.
I get a gold star.
Oh yeah, okay. I was muted. I was saying it, and I was like, "Why did you?" They're the bad guys who embrace technology and AI, and they were a part of the SSA, but they split off many years ago and rebelled and became their own colony
In Axminster. The Axminster.
in Axminster. Yeah, that's where Wilhelm, our pilot, is from, as well as, or our, I guess, conscripted pilot is from, as well as Gostrom, our happy-go-lucky new ally friend, is also from Axminster. But the Clad, they're at war with the SSA, even though there's not at war. They're in an armistice, so it's like it's a Cold War with the SSA, and they are. I don't believe they're as technologically advanced, or at least I think the SSA tells us that they're not as technology advanced rebels, even though they embrace technologies that we don't believe exists.
Right. So you saw one of the ship come down and it headed over to the mining settlement next to the water. There's a refinery and all that sort of stuff over there. Clearly, one of the rails that leads into the main city is leading to the ore refinery, and one leads south, ostensibly toward the southern colony. There is a... Let me make sure that I'm saying this right. Yep. There's a third rail. You actually saw it when you were going through the desert, and you saw the wreckage of the 5-year war that happened. I need nods. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yep. And you did see a rail that led way out. Again, you can assume that went to the colony or the settlement, which was nuked. And you would be right. So, whatever could be there. Find yourself in the Greasy Axle bar. A few things had happened. Silas and Skip Trace had gone to the top of the bar. Meanwhile, Cherokee Sue and Dolby were inside the bar, kind of just questioning people. Trying to get the lay of the land. You guys look like mercenaries. The reason you look like mercs, it kind of makes sense. There are mercenaries in town. You'd seen them. Silas and Skip Trace, you saw them around what looks like a kind of capitol building of sorts. There's also leading off from it this weird fountain that has a statue of a leader doing the SSA salute. Also. And they're a paramilitary, these mercenary fellows guarding it. It sort of makes sense. There's a lot left up into the air. Dolby and Cherokee talked to a couple of denizens of this place, a father and a son, and the son left the bar pretty immediately after their conversation. It was just a strange conversation. Dolby and Cherokee were asking a lot of very poignant questions. The bartender seemed, and perhaps proprietor of the Greasy Axle, seemed to be against Confucius as well, and kind of openly so. So, what's going on? You don't know. You don't. I'll place you now, like little action figures, on the world. In this main settlement, you are at the southern part of it. Imagine a big stop sign. It's kind of what it looks like. It's walled. You are on the main drag, where, like I said, the old colony. Skip trace out ahead of you. You see the main road. There's. I won't describe all the road. I'm not going to do all that. Lots and lots of buildings and all these sorts of things. The technology is pretty advanced from what you expected it to be. The capital is like a mile away. I think I said it's half a mile away. It's not too terribly far. You and Silas are on the roof right now, so you're perhaps coming down. We can place you in a second. That's just to start things off. Dolby and Cherokee, we'll say that you guys have sat down in a booth. Dolby, you're feeling the brandy or the shine that you're drinking. Cherokee is helping you around. Burgess is standing in the middle of the bar, perhaps looking at all the paraphernalia that's on the walls. Think of a Cracker Barrel or like an Applebee's. There's all manner of like old signs, and this colony's been around for 200 years. So there's pictures and maybe some farm equipment and all kinds of things hung up on the wall, and like a bicycle hanging overhead and that sort of stuff. We'll say Burgess is looking at that. Katrina, I believe you're sitting at the bar. So, where we will start. Skip trace. Silas has his sniper rifle out. He's looking through the scope, which he's hacked. You see his little Pip-Boy looking arm thing, the holograms going, and he's basically getting a count of what's all going on. Remember, you guys can bid NPCs to gain information and to do stuff. Skip, action's on you.
Okay. I'm going to open comms to our group and be like, there was this kid came running out of the bar. He's headed over to the compound. He's headed in that direction. Do you want us to give chase or keep an eye on him?
Take him out. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I'm drinking. You do what you think is appropriate. You take it.
We'll watch him.
Keep us posted.
I may try to relocate us to a rooftop adjacent to this instead of the one on top of the bar. So you could, and then that way we can get a better line of sight. And if anybody starts to come into the building, we'll be better situated.
Okay.
Skip, as you're up top, you actually see some of the little drones, like zoom, 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 zoom. They seem to be carrying parcels, and there's hundreds of them. Think of it's nighttime at this point, so you see like the lights of the city. Remember, people aren't really out; like they don't really walk the streets. They go inside pretty quickly. You see these drones going to and fro, delivering parcels. Above, every so often, a flash of electricity, and this time perhaps you catch it. You see this arc of lightning, like spider crawl its way across what looks like a mesh dome high above the city. As it...
On the drones, do they have kind of like what looks like an upside down smiley face on the side of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has like a what would it be 500 years in the future? It's like the smiley face, but they all look like this bald guy.
Silas, let's try and get that rooftop over there so we can see better and get the door of the bar in our line of sight. And so then I will try to lead Silas down if there's a way for us to stay on the rooftops and get over, I will. But if not, we'll go down and then try and go back up to get a better vantage point to where we can see the compound, if people are coming, and where the door of the bar would be. And I will bid I'll bid my period of life hardened to do that.
I will give you a narrative point for doing that perfectly. Well done, sir. You're playing the game.
I will.
And you bid what?
Hardened.
Hardened. You look around and in fact see how the old colony is laid out. You can easily do this. We'll say that it maybe the way that these containers, these cargo containers are flipped over, perhaps they were even made for it. Like there's handholds and all sorts of stuff. Like it was designed to be able to have maintenance on it and this sort of stuff.
Okay.
Burgess, what were you saying?
I open up comms and say, "Am I awake?"
Yeah, you are awake.
Oh, well, I guess I'll get in my suit and man a battle station or something.
You should be in your suit, or else you couldn't be on the open comms like this.
Whoa! It's gonna save me some time.
Hulker confusing the masses.
Okay, so I walk out, presumably up to the second floor where people might be standing around and.
Yep, there's a second floor. As you walk past the bar, you walk up the little spiral staircase. You feel like you're in a spiral state. I hear that's a good movie, by the way. Ken, where can we find that movie, Ken?
Can't.
You can't.
It's unfindable.
Yeah. Well, if you can find that movie, you see it.
I think it's still available on that pirated website, but I would check your malware.
As Burgess, Private Burgess, you remember that you have legs, and you start walking up this this spiral staircase, clang, 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 clang. As you get to the top, it's sort of a pod of a bar. So the way the cargo container is, God, I can't speak. The way the cargo container is, imagine going up into an attic. You maybe at the edges of this bar, you have to stoop a little bit. There's some cutout windows. There's a few people up here. A secondary little bar, and there'll be a robot. This will be all like Star Warsy style. A little robot that looks like an oversized rice cooker with arms. It's like spinning around, doing stuff behind the bar, and its head turns to you with these lights that perhaps look like eyes, and it blurts out. There's a few people up here. They look normal. They're wearing, imagine post-apocalyptic clothes, basically. All of them are armed. They happen to look up, give you a nod, seeing that you are in body armor and have a big fucking gun with you. And then they look away.
I say, "Sir, where is the exit?"
Who do you say that to?
The rice cooker.
Do you have your helmet on, or?
Oh yeah, it's on.
Okay, you say it. You hear the sort of echo of your voice back at you. It doesn't say anything.
I open up comms. Where's everyone?
I'm right here.
I turn
I
around.
think I'm in a bar.
Oh, I guess you're on the first floor then. I'll be right down. I walk back down the spiral staircase.
That is exactly how gaming works. Here's a world. Cool. I turn around and I leave. No, you walk away from the plot. You get to the bottom of the stairs, and you see Dolby sitting there with Cherokee Sue in a booth. And off to your left, you see Katrina Telmus sitting at the bar with like a sundae with a cherry on top.
I say,
After hearing, Katrina, after hearing this exchange, through the open comms, she's gonna like just put like a coin down on the counter. It's like, bartender, can I just get like a really, really, really big glass of tequila?
Yeah. Do you want to like squeeze a lime in it?
I want, yeah, that works. Yeah.
As this guy who looks oddly enough like me, just with way more hair, just flowing locks of hair, silky hair that comes down his back, down to like his ass crack. He's like puts it over his, his ears like so. He kind of looks like Punksicle as he's sitting there with his like stark blue eyes. He kind of like looks at you for a second. He's got the stubble on the chin. Yeah, just a second. He turns around. He doesn't look like me at all. As he pours the tequila, squeezes the lime, hands it to you.
Thanks. I have a feeling I'm gonna want to forget tonight.
You and me both. Action is on you guys, y'all.
there's a.
Hold on. Let me alley-oop you. What do you do, Burgess?
I talk to them and I say, I think we got to be on lookout somewhere. And it's on open comms.
Yeah.
Silas and I have that covered.
I guess we don't. Hey, you want to go upstairs? There's a giant rice cooker that'll serve you drinks.
There's food upstairs. I could use some food. I think I might have had too much to drink.
Cherokee Sue looks over at you, towering over you, even sitting down. Actually, no. He'll be roughly your height sitting down. He just has really long legs. As he kind of turns to you, Dolby, he says, "Yeah, buddy. Why don't we go upstairs and get you some food? Really quick. Who has their helmets off? If you have your helmet on, no one can hear you when you talk to them because you have a helmet on. Unless you're Dolby and you have an intercom. And then you're like speaking to people like the police or like Master Chief. Which you can do, but you have to designate that.
I have my helmet on, but I'm out.
Does anyone have their helmets off?
Katrina has hers off because she's,
Okay.
drinking stuff.
All right. Cherokee leads you upstairs, Dolby. Burgess, I'm assuming you go first. As it's kind of hard going, Dolby. Let's give you a brawn roll.
Ooh.
So it'll be so this is reaction. So it's your action die D10 and your brawn. This is about the Constitution. Dolby is drunk, as you've stated. The question is, how well is he handling himself?
Well, I have rolled 2 successes, but I might use. Is there a
threshold?
level of threshold?
Yeah. Let's decide. How much has he drank?
A fair amount. I think he's been drinking. He drank most of the day.
Yeah, but Dolby's used to it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's done that.
He's day drinking.
I think what it is the altitude. Well, you had your helmet on.
Yeah, I still have the. I mean, but he lifts the helmet on to take a drink and then put it back down.
Yeah, I think what this is it's like the super oxygenated air and something in the atmosphere that's like made him more susceptible. I think normally Dolby would actually, this would be par for the course.
Sure.
So we're gonna say
And-
the threshold. Go on.
And he's not used to this kind of gravity.
Right, that's true. That's true too. So we'll say the threshold is 4.
All right. I would like to spend a fabrication. No. Fabric. I don't have fabrication. An expression proficiency to
Yep.
reroll one of my
To fake
dice.
it. Yep, do it.
To fake it till I make it.
I feel that. I was there
well,
Friday. Oh my god.
And then I will spend, I guess, the skullduggery proficiency.
Yes, that applies.
Reroll it again. And that is 4 successes, and with flair.
Nice. So it's a limbo, which makes sense since you're in a limbo
Yeah.
state.
Sure.
Dolby, you can tell. Well, you got your senses about you, but you know that all the things we said with the gravity, with the atmosphere you've gulped in. You're running on 3 cylinders instead of 4. But you have your wits about you. Things are just a little bit more difficult when it comes to the physical aspects. Your mental aspect, though, you've got. We'll say with Limbo as well, you do know PMC Marines have stimp packs as well as little chemicals that they can take to stay awake in these sorts of things in the event you need to
Sure.
do that.
Like Quirt,
Like Quart, for example.
I know that I have. I procured 5 packets of Quirt.
Yeah.
I might inject myself with one of those.
You gonna do it?
I might, if anything goes down, I might wait till.
Okay. So you have it kind of at the ready.
But I have one on me. I think probably the other 4 are on the crawler. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
With our materials that I packed, but I'll spend a narrative point that I have one on me, just to say that, because I know I packed them for the trip.
Katrina, you see everybody go upstairs. You are at the bar. You have your tequila drink. Action's on you.
Katrina, quickly finishes the first drink that she got. And then she kind of just goes to town on the tequila. Like, the bartender might actually be kind of, depending on his personality type, either weirded out or turned on by how quickly she just downs the tequila, because she is just like done at this moment. She's like, in her head, she's thinking, what in the hell have I actually gotten myself into? Like, what is this group all about? Because this is the first time she's doing a mission with these people, not in a very controlled atmosphere like the inside of a ship. So like Burgess not even knowing what's going on, it's kind of like throwing her for a loop, because she's very much used to maybe not like military professional mercenaries, but people who do what they who take their jobs very seriously. So she's just kind of
So she's biding her time.
yeah, and she might actually, after she actually just downs the tequila and pushes the glasses towards the bar, inside of the bar, she'll look up at the bartender. So, what I don't know, what what fun is there for a girl to do around here?
What fun? He notes. You see him note how quickly you drank. What fun? I mean, the usual stuff. Did you guys just get in?
Yeah, we were out on the outskirts for a few days, taking care of some jobs that we had, you know, before we came into town. And now we decided to get some R&R. You
As you
know,
say that, he kind of gives you a nod, almost like a merp nod of the nose. Like maybe he knows what you're talking about, but wonders if you're talking about what he thinks you're
he's
talking about.
talking about, yeah. One of those kind of things like, I don't want to say it out loud because if I'm wrong, you get me in trouble, but
Mm.
kind of.
Oh, on the outskirts of town. You mean down south?
We were tasked with some, shall we say, some cleanup operations.
Seem kind of take a step back. Ah, I see. Yeah. Well, I mean the usual suspects. There's different bars. There's you know, often up in the north, they've got the games, gambling, and just things everybody does. I mean, not much changes around here.
Gotcha. Uh,
Same old
if
bands, same old or whatever. I think there
if
was a shipment.
one, I was gonna, if one wanted to arrange an appointment with um, Confucius or any of his administrators, how would one go about doing that?
Good question. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'd go directly to uh, the Capitol building and walk right in. As you see a few people laugh, or maybe you know, draw some more graffiti on that statue out there. Perhaps that'll get his attention.
Gotcha. So, maybe be a greasy wheel, so to speak.
He puts some soda water down in front of you. We'll have one of those before the next drink. Okay, I'll be right back. As he walks around and starts, maybe some people have come up to the bar and he's tending to them. Skip Trace, what are you doing?
As we're sitting up top here, I'm gonna be, Silas. Do me a favor, watch
Yes.
that compound there and see. Let me know when somebody comes out or anything. I'm going to walk along this rooftop here and look around the area and see if I can see if there's anything else of interest around this area.
As you do that, Silas gives you a nod. You hear the smacking of lips. Silas is clearly, again, chewing gum in his helmet. You note that the boy who left, he went down the main drag, and before getting to the final road that leads to the official building, the Capitol, we'll call it, he makes a left and goes out of sight. So he heads towards what look like big silos to the west of the colony. The rail that you came in on that was carrying food is south and to the east of you. And you can see this massive silo and a few subsequent grain silos. There's also a water tower there and where the aqueduct leads to. And being this high up, you can look across the city on the north side and see another water tower with another aqueduct leading to the northern mountains.
Okay. So the silos are the southeast and the boy headed west?
Yeah, there's so southeast is the food silo.
Yeah.
And some water. Northeast-ish is where another water silo is. And then to the west, there are more silos, but they look like perhaps they have ore and that sort of stuff in them.
Okay.
Actions on you, sir.
Well, or when I say open comms, that means just to our group, right?
Yep.
Open comms. The boy did not head to the compound. He's still in a hurry, but I don't know where he's going. I can follow him and leave Silas up here to see if I can try and catch up with him and see if I can figure out where he's going.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Do it.
I'll have Silas keep a watch up here. Let me. Are we good with bidding Silas to be Overwatch, basically?
Yeah.
You guys good for that?
For sure.
Says everybody has to be, or a majority
I
has
know.
to be.
We just need one more.
I'm good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll have Silas sit up here and watch to see if anyone dangerous comes towards the bar, and I will catch up with this boy and tell him and try my best not to get caught. And I will bid. Okay, I will bid orphanage, which is one of my backgrounds because I'm used to being an orphan, running through the streets and stuff, and trying not to be caught when I would sneak out and that sort of stuff.
I love it. You you hear the sights and sounds of your youth. Tears well up in your eyes.
Utes.
Utes. You catch up to this kid. Looks like he's about 14 or so years old. Of course he's human. He's a Zen, which means he's human. And I believe, I don't know if you heard his name or not, or if you guys even found out his name. You see, he has unnaturally gray hair, or I should say, prematurely gray hair. That's creeping up around, the sides and whatnot. Probably was golden hair, but now it's turning gray. Skin is rough from probably working. Looks like he has calluses on his hands. Kind of just an edgy, common looking guy. Likely, with your bid, you can tell he's nimble. Is more than he seems. Probably has seen violence. Skip, as you know what it's like to live on the streets and such. And especially in a colony out in the middle of nowhere, they have their own rule of law out here. This kid's bearing is that of not someone in the military, but someone who's seen violence. As he moves through the streets, there's a few people out here and there with respirators and such, and a couple cars go by, zoom, zoom. Again, for a city this size with this population, it's not much. And you're able to follow him pretty easily. He takes a couple alleyways, goes into a few stores. It doesn't seem like he's trying to lose you. It seems like these people try to not be in the atmosphere as much as possible.
Yeah.
As he gets to a large building, looks like a factory. Off to your right, you see the road continue around. It looks like the main road perhaps goes the entire circumference of the colony. So there's one main road that goes through the colony where the capital is, and then there's one that goes around. So it looks like a big, pinwheel kind of. If you were to continue, you see two large silos, exhaust coming out of them. There's the din of mechanics, conveyor belts, and you can see between the buildings and such, a little ways to the wall, and how there's a gate that's opened up, and the rail is there. There's actually a rail car that's there, and people are unloading, and machines are unloading crates of ore. As this kid goes in, one of the doors, it slams. Ka-tong.
Is there any security around?
There are
Do I
some
notice
people. There's some people here and there. They look like workers. You see some larger people. Imagine kind of like a dock worker type person. They're all
Right.
proletariat with aprons and shit, hammers.
Yeah.
They don't look like that. They, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Industry people. No, there's no one at the door per se, just doing security. You do see some security cameras, and here and there the of the drones going to and fro.
Okay.
But otherwise, no.
Is there a way that I can get up close to one of the windows to see in without getting spotted by a security camera?
What do you bid?
I will bid. I will bid brave.
Yeah, as you go up, you perhaps get into one of the little alleyways, climb up on to a scaffolding that leads into one of the doors, and you can get a vantage down from this height and these large windows. So think of the windows, and it's a factory window, right? So
Right.
they're the little panels, and they're
Right.
really tall, or like a tobacco warehouse look. As you can look in and see loads of machinery, pretty well ordered in here. It is a factory, right? People are moving about, doing their jobs and such, unloading and loading. Little forklifts. Bzzz. You see Lauren in one.
Yeah.
The kid walks up to a man who looks like they're in charge, has a word with them, and they're led off some stairs up to what looks like a foreman's, perhaps, office. You see a woman greet the boy. She has red hair. Holy shit, I was right. Yeah, red hair. You can tell somehow from this distance. Brown eyes. Rugged brown skin. Her hair's braided, kind of cropped back. And yeah, they're having a serious conversation. She has the bearing. We'll say that with your previous bid.
Well,
Go on.
because I was going to ask this, and so I'm going to ask it now to see if I'm right. So a factory, being a someone who's done military and knows about rebellions and having to fight them, a factory is a good place to hide one.
Mhm.
And so, in looking around, do I get any sense of that?
And that's a good question. We'll say, based on what I was going to say,
Okay.
perhaps she has the bearing of someone who is in the military.
Okay.
Yeah. And as maybe you look around, this place is really orderly. I don't know, that could just be a factory, but potentially. You get a good sense for it. Maybe they just have a union.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to check and see if my theory was right.
Drizzle?
Yeah.
You've been gifted like 5 pips.
Oh,
It's just one pip. If a player gives,
Yeah, you
it's
got to
just
do
one.
1,000.
yeah.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, players can gift, but you have to spend 1,000 dread points to do it.
I see.
Whereas
I see.
people in the chat don't, but you do.
So you got a pip from DJ No Fly.
Oh, I thank
Over
you,
there.
DJ Nova.
Thanks, DJ.
So as for right now, I'm going to watch the interaction, and try and if there's a way, I may try to get a little bit closer, but if not, I'm gonna stay where I am and watch.
You'll have to either scale the building or go inside to get closer.
Okay, and then I'm going to stay where I am and watch, see if I can read body language and that sort of, just kind of figure out maybe what's going on and what's happening.
Burgess, you get to the top of the stair. The rice cooker bot turns, beeps at you again. People look up. They turn away faster this time, having seen you before. And quickly behind you, Cherokee and Dolby appear as well. What are you guys doing?
I opened my helmet up because I was tired of getting my helmet foggy, but now I realize people can hear me.
You do. What would you like? You hear the rice cooker bot say as it pours 3 waters. What's that, little napkins?
What do you accept for payment?
Coin.
I look over and I say, hey, he needs a coin.
We bought the bar out downstairs. Does that transfer over?
See its head spin. Chink. Yes.
Do you have any nutrient pellets, or do you have any food? Like
Some plates appear on the bar, and he puts down what look like green fudge brownies and whipped cream.
Are these good for a hangover?
Head spins. I am not allowed to lie. Yes.
Okay. Bon appetit, fellas. I'm gonna lift my helmet because he heard that through the speaker and take a bite, a small bite.
Let's see how good it is, because that's interesting. Hey, Katrina, roll a d6. Yeah. 6 will be really good.
1 will be normal.
It was 6.
Holy shit, this is delicious. It's kind of salty, savory, and sweet at the same time. And what in the world do they make this green paste out of that they like in a pan? Seems very nutritious.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever had anything this good in my life. That might be a true thing. It might be the best food that I've ever eaten.
Gravity does wonders. All right, Marines, what are you guys doing?
Hey,
Is anybody else up here talking?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few patrons up here. As you look around, it's not as many as down in the main floor.
Does anybody look notable or like older or weathered?
I need a bid and an intention. Otherwise, I build out the entire thing, and then it's not played with.
Yeah, no, I'll bid. I'll bid something, and I'll have an intention.
Like you see Gandalf over there. Cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really have much.
This is how you get so many NPCs. I'm like
I'll
ripping
bid-
out all these kind of NPCs. Fuck.
I'll bid dumb fucking luck, and
Yeah.
and there's gonna be somebody there that fits the description of something. Or would it be better to spend a narrative point?
You mean someone who's important? In what way?
Oh,
What are you trying to find?
I'm trying to find somebody who served at the PMC or PMB.
Oh, you mean a previous?
Yeah,
As in someone from the previous.
from the
deal.
previous. Yeah.
Sure.
The people who betrayed Captain Harold Grimm.
Yeah.
One moment. 1 moment later.
And if you're enthralled with what we're doing now, you'd love the Geeky Gamer podcast. We do it every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time Zone on YouTube. I'd also like to give a little special shout out to our Patreon members. Please join us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/DreadLore. Thanks to Daniel Hulker, especially Tim Roberts, Nostalgic, and Natalia Cline for all the support you do to get our to keep us going, because we need it, because this stuff is expensive.
We salute
Don't-
you.
Dolby, as you look around, these look like colonists, primarily. However, your eyes stop on one person in particular. Perhaps it's her stark blue eyes. She has a pretty like a triangular face. She's wearing nice things. So this is sort of a, it's colonial, it's post-apocalyptic kind of look is what everybody has on in here, but she looks cleaner than most. You see that her clothes are not frayed. She actually has some jewelry on, but something betrays this. One, her eyes sort of dart back and forth. You see that she sizes you and your compadres up pretty quickly, a practiced eye, and while she hides it quickly, not too quickly, but you do catch that her hands, her knuckles and such, she's not some dainty person. She's done either manual labor or she's been in the military. And we'll even say that on her neck, you just barely see underneath her collar as she maybe moves a tattoo, which is one of the P&B tattoos.
Burgess, why don't you hang back here with Jazzy Cabbage and keep this rice cooker company? I'm gonna go talk to this lady over here. Keep an eye out. Let me know if anybody notices. Barkeep, can I get another drink as well? All right.
It gives you drink. Alcohol, 15%.
Nice. I'm gonna take the drink and a little bit of this food I got in my hand and kind of stumble over to the table next to this woman.
She looks up at you. Her legs are crossed underneath the table. She smiles and actually moves over so that you can sit down. Seeing your intention. Well, hello, stranger.
Oh, hello. Good to meet you. I haven't seen you before.
I haven't seen you before.
Have you been on this colony for a minute?
Haven't we all?
I'm going to bid
Punch her in the face.
bid a thing. I'm gonna bid my origin.
What I want. What? Sorry. Go on.
Which is Ganymede, but I like to call it Gamamede.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna do one of those hand signals. You mean like just subtly, just a P, not a PMC hand signal, subtly, while I'm covertly while I'm picking up my food. So it's kind of like a flip, and then I'm gonna grab it and to see what her reaction is.
Okay. As you do this, We'll do a high or low. Hey, Drizzle.
Yep.
Will you roll me a D12? And Ken, will you call it? What's up, Kentucky Fried?
Oh, nice. Fried chicken.
Hey,
Hi.
thanks for the subscription, Kentucky Fried Death.
What was that? You said hi?
Let's say hi.
Nope. It was It
No.
was a 3.
I'll do a bit of running out of things. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna have to lead it. Let it go.
Yep. As you do the hand signals, which would identify her as another Marine, you realize she's not a Marine, so maybe you do just an SSA signal, and her
Yeah.
eyes catch it as she surreptitiously now does like the tap, 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 or whatever, the kind of like, whatever it is, half salute, and you realize she is PNB, so Prime Navy. Have
Good.
seen.
Yeah. It's sometimes I miss the old country. I don't know. I don't know if I should be talking to you about this stuff. They're having us do some really crazy shit on the south side.
Yeah, I bet.
Have you been down there?
Not for a while. Not since it all happened. As she kind of looks around at a few people who, some people look over, but they don't seem to be paying too much attention to you. She leans forward.
I'm so hungry.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
why. Do what?
She just kind of blinks at you. Are you drunk?
Might have had a little day drinking. We've been traveling all day, so it's like, what do you do? What do you do?
Sometimes when you travel out in the desert, a day can seem like years.
That's true. It's true. It's very true. How's life in the city going? Been a while since I've been in.
As good as it can go. She kind of looks around. How long do you think you'll stay?
I don't know.
Before
Till
you
they
ship out again?
Till they tell me to ship. I'm hoping to get a few weeks.
A few weeks?
I've been out for a long time. I mean,
yeah.
it seems like years and years and years.
I would do almost anything to see home one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, but unfortunately, that's not possible, is it?
Yeah. No. It's been a long time. Well, I've heard rumor that.
Oh yeah, rumors are dangerous.
Yeah, I know, but you could say rumors on this planet, right?
She kind of looks. Some can.
Yeah. Well, I heard rumor that it doesn't have anything to do with Confucius and his stuff. It's about the rebels, and they're looking to attack the city again, and I don't know what to do.
You see it for the first time, her brow, it doesn't furrow, but just a flinch of what? And then she's placid again. Well, they say that they're in those hills up there, and I mean, they can only last so long. Some people say. Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some people say they're southern settlement is feeding them.
They were gutsier than normal. It seems like somebody's equipping them.
Oh yeah. Well, she kind of points up, just out of sight for other people, and she says, "Yeah, you think?"
Yeah, I do. You ever think about going out again on a run?
I told you I would love to, but you know, she kind of shrugs.
You do well in the city here. It looks like you've really made a life for yourself.
Kind of smiles.
You
I suppose so. How long will
What-
you all be here? As she looks at Cherokee, and she looks over at Burgess, who, as you're sitting here and you maybe turn back, Dolby, you can bid or throw down.
I'll throw down, I guess.
Do it.
Is this a wits thing?
Yeah.
Wits. Or is it it doesn't matter. We're gonna go with wits. It is not for me to see. That is one success.
That's all you need. As you see them, maybe having sat back for a few minutes, like away from them, you know, you guys have been together for a while.
Mhm.
And seeing them not in there with their tags, being a little bit drunk, who knows, maybe a little high on this atmosphere. They look like Marines. Burgess is stiff as like he just looks the most inflexible, like his shoulders are back and he's just turning around like RoboCop, looking at people. Cherokee Sue looks like a monstrosity. Like he's 6'10". Like the idea of new people don't really come here.
Yeah.
He is clearly new.
Yeah, of course.
Clearly,
of course.
he's head to toe in like this
Sure.
battle gear, and you all have this like Delta Force style. Like you are decked out. As you look at them, it is obvious that you all are not from here, and you're Marines.
Yeah.
At least those two, because they're acting like Marines that have been on a ship for 11 years.
Sure.
Yep. As she kind of turns and you maybe turn back and look at her. It would be nice to leave if only there were a ship.
Well,
Fortunately, a ship wouldn't get out of here before, Fortress shot it down.
I believe that. It's a thing. I also heard that they might be the rebels might have somebody on the inside on that delivery ship.
You're talking about... She kind of mouths, La Résistance?
I have heard of La Résistance. I don't know. And then dissent in the city is more than I thought. I mean, I'm kind of blown away. The bartender said what he said. He was like saying things like Confucius was going down. That was just that's wrong. That's crazy talk.
Well, that's basically how he is.
And he can get away with it?
Bob.
Bob can get away with that sort of thing?
Always has.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think our sovereign leader cares too much about what the rabble has to say about him. Not with his paramilitary and long line of mercenaries.
Sure. You're a mercenary, aren't you? Are you not a mercenary?
She plays coy and looks faux bashful. No, when given the option a few years ago, I decided to take a step back.
Oh, what'd you get into?
Girl can't really tell all of her secrets now, can she?
Why is it like? I've been on mission for 5 years now, in the desert, or not the desert, and on the south side of this planet.
She looks at you
I'm
like she
dying.
doesn't believe you.
I'm dying to just know something about what's changed in the town.
What do you bid, dude?
I will bid my motto. Nope, I won't. That is wrong. I'm gonna bid my race, which is human.
Okay.
And I've seen people. I'm not a debater. I'm not a figure outer. I'm not that super bright of a person. He's no Nord Zetterberg when it comes to deciphering information or communicating. Most his conversations end in him cutting somebody in half. So he's really just trying to be as human as possible.
As she leans forward, you Dolby, you start talking and kind of stumbling over your words a little bit, realizing that while you're holding it together, you are fucking drunk. And she leans forward in a low voice, says, "All right, listen, Captain or whatever, cut the shit. I know you haven't been here for 5 years. You've been here for what, a day or two? So how many ships do you have?"
I have 2, at least. I think I can get a 3rd.
As her eyes sort of squint, she looks around. People are looking. Burgess, you notice that people are sort of looking over at her. They're paying attention to you all, but, going about their days, drinking and talking and whatnot. It all seems pretty much on the up and up. There is an underlying... There's maybe... Who knows? You guys have to bid to figure this out, but yeah.
Yeah, I just bid human. I don't know how to talk to people. I just started saying, but they're not intergalactic spaceships. Oh, maybe there's one. I heard about a capital ship that crashed the other day. Those rebels are getting pretty advanced.
Yeah,
And I look her
rebels.
deeply into the eyes.
Yeah, she looks at you. You can tell she doesn't believe a word you're saying. She says, "Right, those rebels, right. Listen.
Do you have a better idea?
If I can, I'll help you. If you can get me and a couple others off this rock."
I got plenty of room.
We didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. So you want to...
I don't care. She just kind of looks off to the side. I don't think we can get... And looks around. The captain. Maybe.
Look, we stick out like sore thumbs, and I'm clearly
No joke.
not a person of that should be doing anything. So my guess is that we should probably leave the establishment before somebody shows up, because I bet somebody's coming.
She kind of nods or shakes her head. This establishment is friendly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Listen, Confucius doesn't care about people talking like this. Okay? That lets them blow off steam. They're not going anywhere. They don't have any ships. And no one wants another civil war.
Yeah.
Especially after what happened last time.
Right. Well, I got cryopods for 15. My guys...
You're gonna need a bid on that. That, sir, is a lie.
I will bid, because I've run out of other thing. No gift goes unpunished, which is my motto.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's true. No gift goes unpunished. So I might have extra room for a couple. I got 2, but 15. I presume whoever's trying to get on that ship, that 13 of them will probably die on the way. So 15. Survival of the fittest. I'm a sardonic, bleak, flawed individual.
So you have enough pods for 9.
Oh, 9.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so it's not that big of a lie.
Counting Silas's.
Yeah.
You have 9 pods.
And Wilhelm's probably going to stay.
Yeah, it's up to you. So you're bidding basically to get the lie off.
Yeah.
So Dolby is aware you get 9.
Yeah.
Unless you can get some other ones. As you say 15, she says 15. She kind of like furrows her brow a little bit. Guess it's been a while. Upgrades to the ships. That many on one ship? Is it a gunboat or? Surely nothing bigger than that.
We've developed substantially over the last couple hundred years.
You can, a couple hundred. I've only been gone 10.
5 years?
15.
10 years?
15.
How many times have they sent people to come here?
They don't tell us that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's every 5 years, or they sent somebody 5 years ago, and I guess that's when the war happened.
She kind of looks at you. You got cryo brain going, and I don't have time to go over the. I swear, dumber and dumber. You can tell Dolby that she's antsy. She wants off the planet, and some of her people, and she hopes that you guys can get Captain Grimm as well.
Sure.
To lay it on out there. Okay. Pause. Burgess and Katrina, what are y'all doing?
Katrina, having now finished her soda water, will get up and basically be like, well, obviously she's not saying this, like, I guess I better go make sure that the others aren't getting into more trouble. And so she'll head upstairs.
Wait, she does say that, or she doesn't say it?
You know what? Actually, at this point, considering that she's already said that, she wants to forget tonight, she'll actually might sort of say that in a sort of knowing way to the bartender as she's heading upstairs.
He nods at you. Well, make sure they don't get into any trouble, I guess. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll be sure to I'll make sure that at least anything stupid is covered. But they should behave themselves, I think. But anyway, I hope
last words.
I hope I'm sober enough to say goodbye when we come down, but otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful evening.
He nods.
So she goes upstairs, and when she gets up there, she sort of looks around to find. She'd probably go to Dolby just because she already knows that Burgess is not really going to be helpful.
Yeah, you see Dolby talking to a pretty-looking lady with blue eyes. What's his name? Cherokee is sitting down. We'll say that yet again. Burgess is kind of standing in the middle of the room.
I go up to the bar.
NPCing it up.
As he walks up to the bar when you get up there, the rice cooker.
Thank you. Can I have a drink?
What do you want?
Beer.
Beer. 4%. As it sort of.
Who's sitting next to me?
Pale beer. There's no one sitting next to you.
There's no one sitting next to me.
Nobody's at the bar.
Well, I pick the beer up, I drink it, and then I go over to maybe one of the other patrons.
Yep, you do. Fucking NPCs, man. Yeah, you walk up to this one dude. He's this short, stout guy. He's got a bald head, some scars, on his arms and such. Looks like he works in the factory. He's wearing very plain, sort of proletariat clothes. Have a little bit of grease on the collar and maybe the cuff. Dirty hands, like he just got off work. He's sitting there with 2 or 3 empty glasses of beer. What can I do you for?
Out of curiosity, what does your factory make?
Well, we don't make much. We refine ore. How do you not know that?
I forget.
Taking too many to the dome?
Yeah.
No, have a seat.
I sit down in my suit.
You mean you're still in your suit and you sit, or you sit down awkwardly in an L shape and your suit just sort of acts like a chair?
Yeah.
That was not a yes or no question, Hulk. Which one is it?
It's the suit will act awkwardly like a chair. Yeah.
As you sit down, and your suit legs lock. He looks at you. Well, that's interesting. I have not seen that before in my life. Huh. As you both stare at each other.
Yes. So, sir, your factory makes ore. What is this ore for? Where does it go?
As your huge gun swings at your side, he eyeballs it. Well, that's not up to me. I just help process it and send it on up the line. Usually one of them big ships comes and takes part of it.
Really? When did they show up?
The Axminster bunch? I'd say they show up about... let me think. Probably the first time they came up was maybe 6-7 years ago. That was before, P&B came. Before the Civil War happened. Once things settled down, maybe 3 years. That's probably about that time.
That's it? Every 3 years?
Furrows his brow. No, they came... You've been knocked in the head a few times, haven't you, son? Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get you another beer. As he points at the rice cooker, and the rice cooker's already pouring.
I like you, and I point at the rice cooker and I say, give him a beer.
As you all are drinking. He looks up, he says, my name's Grapeep.
Grapeep.
You can call me Grapip if you want.
Grapeep.
I know, it's like my parents just randomly generated it. I think they may have.
I guess they needed to get a grip.
He laughs. Dolby, as you're sitting there, Katrina walks up, and over the course of the next few minutes, several patrons sit down with Burgess and Grapeep, and they all start laughing and drinking. Skip Trace, you're staring at down this window on this fire escape on the side of this building into a factory. As you see the foreman, this woman with red hair, nod a few times, some sort of pleasantries. She pours the kid a drink, and he salutes her. He salutes her in a different way than you might expect. It's with not the SSA, not the SSA salute, but it's more of the old school, like to the side, out. So it's a bastardization of, what a military salute would be. 500 years in the future, like a.
Okay. Did we see anybody salute like that in the caves with La Résistance?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
You saw the statue of Confucius ostensibly
Doing this, yeah.
doing the SSA thing.
Okay. So it looks like he's going to be here a while. If he's sitting down, they're getting drinks and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and start to make my way back. When I get close, I'm going to try and pay extra attention to the compound. Like I may try to skirt around the compound to see if I can gather more information from ground level.
Like the
I'm heading
entire
back.
way? Or just you want to get closer to it?
Yeah, just closer to it. So if here's a block, or it's like on this block, I'll maybe turn the block before and just kind of like, so I have some distance from, I'm not like walking straight up to it going, but yeah, so that way I'm just trying to get some more information from the compound from the ground level without being caught.
So for your map, if this is it, then down here is where the bar is, and you were up here.
Yeah.
So you will get closer and do the southern, or do you want to go over around it?
No, I want to go over.
Okay.
I want to see because I can see this side from the rooftop. I want to get see it all the way around the building, basically.
As you get on the road and start walking around, you see that the buildings are obscuring most of the capital. So the only real way to see it would be from a rooftop, or to literally get closer. As you perhaps take a left at the main road, you see it, the thoroughfare. It's very easy to see. What do you bid to be able to do this? And inconspicuously.
Let me see here. Can I bid my stare, or is that too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And I will, or knowing that I will try to scale the buildings if I can find them, like say one on each, like one on the north side as well. So that way I can get like a full, so in noticing that the buildings block my view, I'll try to scale a building to get a better viewpoint on the north side as well. And then back down and around.
First building you climb up, again, it's another fire escape. These buildings are, you pretty much pick the old ones that are easier to climb. They're not as tall as the new ones, but they're easier to climb. And you can get a little bit of a vantage point. You see that Silas was probably right, or was right. Walking around the buildings, around the Capitol, you count 10 paramilitary. They seem legitimate. They seem trained. They're all armed. They're in not as heavy an armor as you are, as in marine armor, but like a light type of armor. They have helmets on, and they look ready. You'll get a couple things. This Capitol building looks like, we'll just say, imagine a futuristic Capitol building. So think of Capitol building, but it's painted in a 1950s way. Does that make sense? It's lots of round, no angles, something that people might have thought would go on Mars.
Mid-century Art Deco.
There you go, mid-century Art Deco. You got a pip for that, for the art knowledge. It looks like it's defensible, and in fact, you'll see it has a couple what look like radio tower antennae on the top. You'll see it has some kind of landing pad, some small landing pad behind it. There's nothing on the landing pad. Perhaps it comes up from the bottom. You don't know. As you start to climb down, hey, who are you? Back inside the bar. Katrina, you make your way to Dolby.
So, who's your new friend here?
I definitely would wave her over. I
Harry
don't
Bunkum says, "Don't slouch."
I don't know if I remember her name. I've been drinking a little bit.
I didn't give you my name, hun.
What's your name? Do you remember the Telmus family? I say to her,
Oh, have
Yeah.
a seat.
please sit
Yeah,
down.
of course. I can
this is
see you're a
Katrina-
professional. I appreciate it.
She's kind of famous. This is Katrina Telmus. It's from Telmar Shipping. They got all
We'll
kinds of
see.
ships.
Hey, Burgess, will you roll me a d12? And Katrina, will you call high or low? But before you roll, Katrina, do you want this person to know of you or not?
I mean, particularly if she was an officer.
Yay or nay?
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
just because I feel like realistically she probably would.
Okay. Call it.
Low.
Holker, was it high or low?
It was high.
And they
Damn.
As she looks up, hold on, you don't know what she knows.
Okay.
She looks up and says, you can do a proficiency if you want
Oh, I was
to have it
going to.
rerolled.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead
Okay.
Roll it
I'll use
again.
Proficiency.
and call it.
We'll do low again.
Just barely low.
All right. Telmar, of course. Katrina. Oh. As she kind of like looks over at you, Dolby. Oh. All going well with the family, huh?
Oh, I mean, I'm not exactly directly involved in the business these days, but I keep my connections open.
That's not exactly what I heard, but, I've been on this rock for 5.5 years.
Well, now I'm curious. I admittedly don't pay much attention to the rumors about me, so I'm curious to hear an outsider's perspective.
The word was a few years ago, which out of game that means cryo sleep. A few years ago, you were cavorting with some pirates.
No. I mean, I do mercenary work, so I won't claim that all of my employers are on the up and up.
Made a pretty
But-
penny from what I heard.
I mean, I made enough to get by. Not
As
that
she
it
just
did me
sort of-
much good.
She
Not that it
sort of
did me
shrugs.
much. Not that it did me much good anyway, because the ship I was on, the whole reason I'm with them is because the ship I was on got taken out by pirates while I was in cryo.
As
So-
she looks over at you, Dolby. I see.
I didn't do
So
it.
she,
What?
so she leans forward. So you came here. You came here from Prime.
Not directly.
What's the mission? I could probably help you complete it. It would be great to get off this rock.
Oh yeah. Well, the mission is pretty simple. It's to get trade. We need the cobalt.
How much do you need?
Often. Sometimes.
Oh, I see. So,
if the cobalt doesn't flow from here to there, then more people are going to.
and you're gonna. She looks over at Katrina. You're dealing with Telmar?
It's a workaround. It's a work in progress. I was giving some parameters on my mission.
She squints her eyes. What's your name?
My name is Dolby Newman.
All right. Fate roll.
Do you know me? Are you my mommy?
All right. Who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I will be fortune.
False fortune.
I'll be false.
Okay, so here are the stakes. Fortune. She has heard of Dolby Newman and your team because of what happened with Whisper Base.
Oh wow.
That you guys were pretty much given the shaft, that you accomplished your goals, and you were scapegoated for it for political reasons. And she gains a respect for you because she is PNB. While she's not a Marine, she's at least former what you guys were. So you gain a little bit of trust from her. False fortune. Kind of the same thing, except that she knows that Dolby Newman is duplicitous, and when it really comes down to it, everything out of his mouth is complete bullshit towards getting the job done. Meaning, she can't trust a word you're saying, but she knows you will accomplish the mission. So the false fortune is, she knows who you are, and she knows that she needs collateral to be able to trust you at all. Like, to get her what she needs. Because she's a pawn, she knows it, she knows you will burn her to death. You don't give a fuck. She knows. Fortune, she thinks you're a bit of a hero in terms of PMC.
Even though she probably got intel that said I wasn't.
These are all rumors. Like I said, the actual sec clearance that you guys, the mission you're on, no one would know. Or very few people would know.
Sure.
All right. So, let's make the roll.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling the dice is good.
Dice are rolling.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Into space!
Well, it's going to be very hard for Hulker to beat this massive 3 that I rolled as false fortune.
I rolled a 97.
Oh,
Nice.
That's the
That's
exact
amazing.
opposite.
As
These are
she-
supplements.
She touches your hand for a second and says, "You're Dolby Newman?" And she looks over at you, Katrina. Do you know who this is?
Should I?
She just kind of shakes her head. You all got the shaft. Hey, listen. All right, there's about 3 of us that are actually still loyal to the SSA. Okay? I think Captain Grimm too.
Copy that.
We can help you. What's the mission?
The mission is to get ore going back. I mean, if we fail, we're just going to do exactly what Grimm did.
So here's the problem. The problem is this: Confucius he's not going to give up power. Okay? And he doesn't care how he keeps the power. But now he's essentially made a deal with the devil. Captain Grimm's subordinates.
Sure.
They're this little pirate collective of mercenaries, whatever, a little military force. All right? That's who you're going to go up against. And they have a cruiser, and it is operational.
Is
That's
that
the
what
thing
we shot down in space, or is that?
No. Those are the old colonial capital ships that fly around. The cruiser, that's different. That's something way more up to date. Now, are you all? What's the complement? Are you on a gunboat, or are you on a frigate, or what?
I want to be able to trust her, so I'd like to bid.
Yeah, what do you do? Good move.
I was, yeah. I don't have much to bid, but I got something. I'm going to bid something, and it might not be. I'm gonna bid. Fucking hell! I'm so out. I'm so out. I'm gonna bid kettle.
Oh yeah, get away with it once.
Get away with it once. I don't want to bid kettle. I can't. I just can't. I can't do that. I got tough. I'm gonna bid tough, which is one of my traits. I'm a tough guy. I'm not a thinker. Or I'm a thinker, but I pulled the drunk off of me a little bit, and realized that I'm talking to somebody who's an operative, and I want to feel if she's legit.
Mm-hmm. Bidding
She's
tough.
saying all the right things.
Bidding tough. Her hand on yours. Maybe you grab her hand and she matches the strength. As she pulls down the collar a little bit, and you see her tattoo. It's the insignia of a lieutenant commander in the PNB.
Okay. So
as she says, as she kind of shows it to you and says, "Listen, we had to survive, and I wasn't going to go follow those bloodthirsty traitors. I think the only reason they let me get away from it is because they've got eyes on and they know I can't do anything."
Sure.
That's the problem.
Well, I can get.
They got eyes on all of us.
Is it
It's not
possible
Confucius,
to?
he's an idiot.
Is it possible to get Grimm out? Of course, he's an idiot. I mean, anybody who
Maybe. You also got the. She looks up at the sky. You also got them coming. Now, I can't believe it. And honestly, I don't believe it. But I don't think she points up again, kind of under the table. I don't think they have much to do with the coup. From what I've seen, they actually seem honest.
Isn't this whole settlement just run by Axminster and the Clad?
She shakes her head. No, not at all. They want the ore, and they give them technology. It's, from what I gather, a fair trade. They haven't tried to make any kind of authoritarian presence whatsoever, which is real strange because she kind of looks around. At best, they're netics.
Yeah, well, La Résistance. I mean, we almost cut off some heads.
So the resistance. She said, "La
Burning
Résistance."
sensations.
La
You just hear it call
Résistance.
out. La Résistance. You know who they are.
Yeah. Do you think that they would help us against these guys, or do you think they're the Clad trying to get in and a foothold?
I don't know, but I know the majority of those freedom fighters are part of that settlement that got nuked.
Yeah. So they're La Resistance might be able to help us with boots on the ground.
Do you mean
a
La
long story.
Résistance?
Yeah. But
We are
And
Les Sensations de Brûlure.
if you know anything,
you're purchased. They're like, ah, Boulere!
if you know anything about me, and I presume you do, La Résistance has got a thing coming to them after their usefulness is done.
She nods. With that, let's take a short break. And then we're going to head back to what the fuck happened to Skip Trace.
What happened to Skip
Let's
Trace?
read it out. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Use the
What
bathroom,
is-
refresh your drinks, and let's rock and roll.
Who are we, and what do we do every week? What's our
Hold on, let me have to go back to the
what's
prompt.
our whole spiel?
We
Give
got
me
a
some
whole
shit.
thing. Got a whole thing.
This whole thing.
We've been playing DreadLore. It's a new TTRPG that rewards immersive roleplay. We have been playing with me, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Ken Howl, Daniel Hulker, Bill Bunkum, and Drizzle. And again, thanks to all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt for the music, and our Patreon sponsors, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Hulker. And then thanks again to Couchfire Media for the media production, all the fancy images we use for our game. And then Terrible Productions, for all the things that make the game run. And who is our sponsor again, Hulker?
Pine cones.
Pine cones.
Pine
Not
in 2 space.
So yeah, we're gonna be back after a short intermission. Stay tuned to see what happens on Into Space.
Into space.